Congratulations! You have just completed your specialization in open-heart surgery. 11 years of study, thousands of sleepless nights. Your father keeps your diploma in a display case as if it were a historical relic. You get a job at a prestigious private hospital, a place with shiny floors, silent machines, and patients arriving in luxury cars. You operate on hearts. Literally, people entrust their lives to your hands. Your name begins to appear in medical journals. Young prodigy of surgery. Specialist in impossible procedures. They invite you to conferences. They request interviews. Your schedule fills up 6 months in advance. Everything seems perfect. Until the night a very elegant man appears in your office without an appointment. Dark suit, calm smile, and 4 bodyguards waiting outside. He sits across from you as if he already knows you. Doctor, I need your talent for a patient who cannot go to a hospital. You try to refuse. Politely, you explain protocols, medical ethics, legal responsibility. The man nods calmly, as if listening to a child explain how the world works. Then he places a folder on your desk. Inside there are photos of your house, of your wife, of your son walking to school. Nothing aggressive, nothing explicit, just information, a lot of information. The man smiles again. Doctor, I'm not asking you to break the law, only to save a life, as you always do. The difference is the location and the patient. The operation takes place in an attic, an old building, windows covered, medical equipment brought in unmarked boxes. The patient is a 60-year-old man. He has a bullet near his heart. The surgery lasts 4 hours. There is no sterile room, no complete equipment, only your hands and a portable lamp. Sweat falls inside your mask, but you manage to extract the bullet. The heart keeps beating. The elegant man watches you silently. When you finish, he gives you an envelope. Inside there is more money than your annual salary. Good job, doctor. Then he adds something more. We will probably need you again. You try to forget the incident. You return to your normal life, scheduled surgeries, grateful patients, photos with colleagues. But 2 weeks later you receive another message. A black car waits for you outside the hospital. This time it's not a request, it's an appointment. They take you to a mansion in the hills. The patient is young, a leader within a certain organization. He has a severe lung infection. If you don't operate, he will die. The operation lasts 6 hours. When you finish, the leader breathes on his own. He looks at you with a mixture of pain and respect. Doctor, from today you are part of the family. Your new reality begins slowly. At first, occasional calls, 1 secret surgery each month, then every week, then every 3 days. You learn to work outside the system, equipment bought in strange markets, medications that never appear in records, improvised operating rooms in basements, yachts, isolated farms, empty garages. Your public fame grows. But your secret career grows faster. You are the invisible doctor, the one who solves problems that cannot officially exist. Soon you understand something important. The Mafia needs not only doctors, it needs miracles. Men with perforated lungs, shattered arms, fractured skulls, wounds that in a hospital would trigger 10 alarms. You work silently, no questions, no reports, no police. Your name begins to circulate in that world, not as a doctor but as a legend. The man who always finds a way. But there are also absurd moments. Once they wake you at 4 in the morning. A crime boss has chest pain. They think it's a heart attack. You fly by helicopter to a private island. When you arrive, you discover the problem. Indigestion, too much food, too much wine. You give him antacids. He charges a fortune. The Mafia thanks you as if you saved the world. Over time, you become more careful. You create false identities, separate bank accounts, temporary offices. You learn to disappear digitally, but you also change inside. Your legal patients are different, normal people, teachers, bakers, parents. They thank you with tears. The others thank you with envelopes. 2 worlds, 1 life. One day the situation changes. They call you for something you never had done. Reconstructive plastic surgery. A man needs a new face, not because he is injured, but because too many people recognize him. You study for entire nights, medical videos, scientific articles. When you finish the surgery, not even his own mother could identify him. The man looks at himself in the mirror and smiles. Doctor, you just saved my life. Again. Your secret fame skyrockets. You are no longer just a surgeon. You are an artist, architect of identities, body repairer, even medical advisor. They ask you to evaluate poisons, medications, toxicology. Once they ask how long a sedative takes to put someone to sleep, you answer as a scientist, but you understand perfectly why they want to know. That night you don't sleep. At home things change. Your wife notices something. You work too much. You travel too much. You are tired all the time, but you also earn a lot of money. You buy a huge house, luxurious vacations, private schools for your son. Everything seems perfect, except for one thing. You never talk about your night work. One day you receive a different call. It's not an emergency, it's a meeting. They take you to an empty restaurant. Only 3 people at the table. The leader you saved months ago, the elegant man, and someone new, an old man with a cold gaze. Doctor, they say you are the best. We need to know if it's true. On the table, they place a folder. Inside there are medical images, MRIs, X-rays, a brain tumor. Complex, very complex. The patient is the old man, and you only have one chance. The operation takes place in a private hospital, but after midnight. No records, no names, only carefully chosen staff. 12 hours of surgery, your back burns, your hands tremble. But you do not stop, and you don't stop now. It's time to subscribe to our channel and like the video. Finally, you extract the tumor. The monitor still shows a stable heart rate. The old man survives, and something changes in the room. Respect becomes something else. Dependence. Weeks later, you receive an invitation, not an order, an invitation. A huge estate in the mountains. The old man waits for you in a quiet garden. Doctor, you saved my life. That creates a debt. In our world, debts are not forgotten. He moves a little closer. From today, you will be our official doctor, not just for emergencies, for everything. Families, partners, allies. Your annual salary now fits in a single monthly transfer. Your freedom, not so much. Your life completely divides. Day, famous doctor, conferences, interviews, awards. Night, invisible doctor, gunshot wounds, violent fractures, problems that will never appear in a file. You start sleeping less, eating less, thinking too much, but the money keeps coming. And with it a dangerous feeling, habit. One early morning, a different case arrives. A young man, very young, barely 20 years old. Abdominal wound. While you operate, you hear something outside. They argue. You discover the truth afterwards. He is not a Mafia member. He is a journalist. He was investigating too much. Your job is to save him, so they can interrogate him. And then you understand something terrible. Saving lives does not always mean doing good. You finish the surgery. The young man lives. And that night, you can't look at yourself in the mirror. After that night, something breaks inside you. It's not fear. Fear is already part of your routine. It's something else. It's conscience. You begin to notice details you used to ignore. The patients you operate on return weeks later with new wounds. Some never return. Others appear in the news, but without a name. Accidents, disappearances, mysterious fires. You know perfectly what happened. You also know your hands help those stories continue. The idea slowly grows. You can't go on like this. But you also can't just leave. No one leaves that world. Not walking. You start planning something impossible, a medical error, a very specific one only you would understand. A cardiac arrest during a complex surgery. No obvious signs, no clear traces. The patient will be the old man, the same one who made you the official doctor of the organization. Not for revenge, for escape. Without him, the system fractures. Alliances change. Chaos begins. In chaos, maybe you can disappear. You know exactly how to do it. A minimal dose of a particular anesthetic, combined with an anticoagulant, causes internal bleeding that looks like a natural complication. Almost impossible to prove. It's the type of knowledge only someone like you has. The opportunity comes months later. The old man needs another surgery. A vascular problem. Nothing urgent, but delicate. They call you to his private medical residence. An operating room better equipped than many hospitals. Silent monitors, perfect white light, everything ready. The old man looks at you before sleeping. Doctor, I trust you more than my own family. You smile. It's curious how irony works. The surgery begins. Precise cut. Exposure of the blood vessel. Exact movement. Your hands are still perfect. No one suspects anything. But at a specific moment, you make the adjustment. Just a small change in the infusion. Nothing dramatic. Nothing visible. Just a different variable in a medical equation. For 20 minutes, everything seems normal. Then the monitor changes. Heart rate becomes irregular. The anesthetist gets uneasy. Doctor, something is wrong. They try to stabilize him. Medications, heart massage, defibrillator. But you know the truth. There is no return. After 40 minutes, they declare death. Silence. No one speaks. The man who controlled half the world just died on your table. What follows is exactly what you imagined. Chaos. Urgent meetings. Accusations. Suspicion. Different factions start distrusting each other. Power fragments. No one has time to worry about the doctor. You are just a specialist who tried to save him. They even thank you for the effort. For weeks, everything slowly burns. Meanwhile, you do something different. You prepare your exit. Closed accounts, erased identities, new documents. Your family no longer lives in the same city. Months ago, you arranged their relocation without explaining much. Your wife thought it was paranoia. Maybe it was. But it worked. One night, you simply disappear. Your office remains empty. Your phones turn off. Your name stops appearing at conferences, in hospitals, anywhere. Medical news talks about your absence. Some say you retired. Others believe you accepted a position in another country. The truth is simpler. You are in a small coastal town, where no one knows your name, where no one knows you were once famous, nor that you operated on the most dangerous men in the world. Your new clinic is small. A white room, 2 chairs, an old desk. Your first patient is a fisherman. Chest pain, nothing serious. You treat him. He pays you with a handshake and a bag of fruit. You sit down after he leaves. You look at your hands. The same hands that operated on hundreds of bodies. The same that saved criminals. The same that caused the death of a powerful man. For the first time in many years. They don't tremble. Time passes, months, then years. The Mafia you knew no longer exists the same way. Internal wars destroyed it. New groups took their place. But no one looks for you, because no one knows where you are. Your son is already an adult. Sometimes he visits you. He thinks his father is a retired doctor who preferred a quiet life. And maybe that is what you are now. One afternoon, a new man arrives at the clinic. Dark suit, calm smile. He sits across your desk. Your heart stops for a second. Because you recognize that kind of presence. That kind of calm. Doctor, I need your help. A very important patient. Silence. The man slides a folder across the table. Inside, there are medical images, X-rays, results, exactly as it happened years ago. The man smiles slightly. They say you are the best. You look at him for several seconds. Then you do something unexpected. You close the folder, push it back, and answer with a calm voice. I am not that doctor, not anymore. The man watches you, as if trying to decide something. Then he stands up, shrugs, and leaves. When the door closes, you stay alone in the clinic. You breathe deeply. Maybe that story never ends completely. Maybe there will always be someone looking for doctors like you. But today, you did something different. For the first time, you chose not to enter. You look at the ocean through the window. The sound of the waves fills the room. And you understand something simple. You can't erase the past, but you can decide on the next patient. And today you chose to save yourself.